Hi, and welcome to another episode of Cruising in the Kitchen. Today we're going to make fried calamari. Typically you eat that in you go out for eat and it's an appetizer or it can be an entree. It's not something that a lot of people make at home, but I want to show you how easy it is and how I like to make it and give you some ideas on how you can make it your own and add some things and take out some things and make it the way you like it. So, mise en place, everything is here. This is a pound of squid. We're not going to use it all, but basically this is what roughly a pound looks like. We're just going to do some examples for you. And for the amount that I need to bread, I have roughly a cup of flour that I seasoned with Old Bay seasoning and Old Bay seasoning, sorry, and some salt and pepper. And we have our egg, and then we have our dry ingredients that we're going to dip it in afterwards, and I chose cornmeal and ground up slivered almonds. You could also use breadcrumbs of any kind, like a regular Italian breadcrumbs. This is kind of where your creativity comes into play. I think the nuts are really good, and I really love the crunch of a cornmeal. So those are the two types that we're going to try tonight. And basically this setup is like the trinity, they call it, of breading anything. You start out in flour, dry, you go into egg, and then you dip it into another dry ingredient. So pretty much when you do chicken cutlets or any kind of cutlets, you're always starting out with flour, egg, and then some sort of breadcrumb or some sort of crunch at the end. So I have some of these. These came frozen, so those are defrosted, but they had some moisture on them. And to dip them in the flour, I want the moisture off, so you just cut them up. I basically took one of these and I made some rings. Sometimes you buy them like that. Sometimes you have to cut them. It's nice to get them whole. It gives you the option of making a stuffed calamari dish, which I suppose I should do someday. Really delicious. A lot of cheeses, jalapeno, you put there, you grill it. Lots of choices. But for today, we're doing fried calamari. So we get some rings and a few tentacles. So, there you go. Keep one hand dry. Wipe off the excess. And I'm going to put this guy in the cornmeal. There you go. So we do a couple of rings. Shake off the excess. Here, give me one of the nuts. You really just want to shake off the excess on the wet ingredient, the egg. I don't think a lot of people think about adding nuts as a coating. Very good. It works really well with calamari. I think it works really well on chicken too. You mix it in with the herb crust. Do a couple more for you, just to see how they look. These are always fun. Makes people nervous when you eat them. Delicious, tastes just like the regular calamari. Give him some nuts. Okay, give a couple more in cornmeal and then we'll fry them up, just to show you what they look like. And just basically keep going. You can just have that already, put that in the fridge. Just, Ready to fry them up, take them out. Ready to go. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands, come back, and then we're going to deep fry those for a quick second. Hi, we're back. The oil's hot, and let's fry up a couple and show you how this looks. Obviously, when you have a smaller pan like this, you don't want to overcrowd it, you don't want to put too much in at once. But certainly, big enough for what we're doing right now. So that's the kind of action you want to see in the pan. You want to see it bubbling all around. You can do a test before you drop it in to make sure that it's hot enough. But basically, you just want to make sure it's sizzling. Use a slotted spoon. It's helpful for turning them over and checking them. Oil's supposed to be about 350, 370. I didn't take the temperature of the oil. I just know what to look for when I drop something into hot oil. That just kind of sizzle. Say a couple minutes on each side for the big tentacles, and maybe a minute or two in total for the smaller rings. Just about there. The little small rings. One thing that's great about calamari is it's a little bit less expensive in the fish store, so it's very affordable. Just like everything else, you want to get it super fresh, or I actually bought this in the frozen section of my particular fish store. It's a great product from Rhode Island. They freeze it right after they clean it. So I'm very happy with that product as well. See, here's the cornmeal ones. A little bit different look to them, obviously. I like them both, but I really think in general, just to give a crunch to it is really helpful. Regular Italian breadcrumbs will give you a little bit of a crunch. This is just like an extra crunch. There you go. This is what I'm doing. So some of the things I'd suggest that you have with that, you can have as simple as just a little bit of lemon, or you can add some hot sauce on top, which I suggest is also good, or some of your favorite spicy tomato sauce, maybe like a Almonds sauce, something like that. See, this one's done now. Shut off the... And that's the one advantage of using a smaller oil. It doesn't take as long also to come to temperature when the recipe calls for 2 quarts of oil. You know, that's going to take another, whatever, 10-15 minutes to get to temperature. And I'm going to discard the oil, so I don't want to use any more than I have to. But basically, this is what you get by calamari. Serve it any way you want, as simple as lemon, or add a sauce. Some people like banana peppers on top of it, I've seen. All kinds of ways you can serve it. Just enjoy it any way you want. Super easy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and come back for another episode of Cruising in the Kitchen.